Hello YouTube, Ranked Season 2 of Pokemon Pocket is on the way and the race to Master Ball has begun once again. I am currently in Milwaukee for the Pokemon VGC Regional, but that's not going to stop me from getting you guys the content you deserve. So today we're going to talk about quite a few decks that you can be using to climb to Master Ball. Some of these decks have already hit Master Ball. Some of these decks are also going to be decks that did really well in the tournament I hosted yesterday. So lots of content. I also have my own deck that I went on a 13 win streak through Ultra Ball, which if you can guess what deck that is, put it down in the comments below. You get it right, I'll personally give you a cookie and maybe a smooch. Not a smooch, but definitely a cookie. And without further ado, let's get into these cards. Right before I begin, I should mention that this channel has been growing so much. It's grown, I've gotten over 10,000 subs in April alone. That is crazy to me. I want to say thank you. And so doing that, I have a lot more eyes on me, and I also got my first sponsorship. It's going to be with eWin Gaming, so let's roll that. At the end of that, we'll get right back into this. Again, I got this opportunity because of you guys. Thank you so much. I'm happy to announce my first ever sponsorship with eWin Gaming, and the people there were nice enough to give me my first ever Flash XL gaming chair, which, let's be honest, I was recording on this and I was projected to have major back pains before I turned 30. So major thanks. These magnetic 4U padded armrests feel good, and nothing beats the feeling of leaning all the way back and Team Rocket grunting my opponent the way Dina intended. This bad boy supports up to 550 pounds, which fits 3 of me and my cute little cat Prismo comfortably. Also, can I gush about the magnetic memory foam pillow for a moment? Like, I will not lie to you. First night, I took a nap on it, and throwing it and watching it attach was a good little stim I do in between stretches. And if you are in the market for a new chair, eWin has also hooked me up with my own affiliate code. Use the link below and use code Jeudy for 20% off of any chair on the site. So what are you waiting for? Go join me and many others. And now, back to the video. Once again, thank you to eWin. I'm currently on my friend's couch. I'm experiencing back pains that I didn't even know I can experience, but that doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. Let's let these cards talk. The first deck I have today is Rockruff Turbo. If you don't know what Rockruff does, it has Signs of Evolution. It's the same thing as Sprigatito, except a random grass card is going to be a random card that evolves from Rockruff. So you're always going to be pulling this Lycanroc. Lycanroc for 2 energy deals 50, plus 50 if your opponent has more remaining HP. Usually what's going to happen is you're going to do something like Rockruff. You're going to get attacked by, say, a Skarmory, and then you're going to be able to do Bloodfang for 100, one-shot that. You can see where this has so much potential. It's really cool, and to combo it off, you're using the Skull Fossil Rampardos combo, no Cranidos, because you want max consistency with Pokemon communication, and then finally Rare Candy, so you can turbo straight into a Rampardos and start dealing 130 off rip. Because this deck has a little bit more longevity to it, as opposed to like fighting like Lucario Ramp, and obviously it has a lot more space in it, you're running Lily and 2 Giant's Capes. This puts Rampardos at 170 HP, so when it does take a KO, it goes to 120, and it will be able to live things like Darkrai and like a lot of weaker attacks. So it's really cool. This thing can box 170 HP on a basic 1 prizer is a little bit laughable. Iono for consistency, Red for extra damage reach, and because you're dealing so much damage with the Lycanroc, Cyrus is your get over here and get a KO. This is really cool. The reason I'm not showing you a Rampardos Lucario deck is because you know how a Rampardos Lucario deck looks. Just add your damn rare candies. I've literally made a video about Rampardos Lucario. Add your rare candies to that. The next deck I have for you guys is Solo Charizard, the Shining Revelry Charizard. Charizard is finally good, finally strong, at least on par with the genetic Apex variant. Due to Rare Candy, right? You are now able to play 15 trainers Charizard, so you Charizard fanatics are being well fed. It being a 1 energy mon means it's good going first, good going second. You're allowed to stoke up and then start dealing 150 consistently. This deck is all about keeping that Charizard upkeep and also getting to that Charizard. You'll notice this deck has 2 Ionos, 2 Lilies, which is just going to be that plus 60 heal. It's going to be very good as you begin stoking it. Pokemon Center Lady, also really good. Sabrina Cyrus is just a combo that you always want. Double Giant's Cape gives you 200 HP, and red for that damage. Reach 170, you know, you're gonna end up KOing stuff like Solgaleo. This is a really, really cool comp. Honestly, it's one of the best decks that you can use, and it's cool to see Shining Revelry Charizard finally get its time in the sun. If you are someone that pulled a shiny Charizard, guess what? I pulled one too. Give me a high five. We're gonna make it. We're gonna be playing Shining Charizards. We're gonna be stoking it, and it's gonna be so good. Up next is a deck that I actually have already recorded footage for, so spoilers. But this is a deck that was also was able to win the Blitz tournament that I had. It was a 64-person tournament, 6 rounds of Swiss with a top 8 best of 3. Shout out to Sprigiato. If you guys already know what Sprigatito does, right? Put 1 random grass from your deck to your hand. But now with Rare Candy, you're allowed to do really, really freaky stuff with your deck. Like, you'll notice that this has cut a Floragato, and this has cut a Steenie from the Bound Sweet line. And of course, Tsarena's new, right? Let's talk about what Tsareena does. Tsareena actually fixes one of the biggest problems Meowscarda has, and it's how bad the deck is going turn 1, right? Previously, Meowscarda Mag, if you start turn 1 with Mag, it is like the worst thing ever. Like, you might as well click forfeit. But now, you do Tsareena. Tsareena is a 1 energy attacker. You go first with Bound Sweet into Tsareena. You have Rare Candy. You're dealing 50 times 3 per coin. That's a 3-kit combo. That's hot dog, hamburger, tacos. You know, that's your spaghetti and meatballs plus the marinara sauce. It is such a good card. It is also another basic, so you are guaranteed, not a basic, it's another 1 prizer, so you are guaranteed to get through 3 points with this deck. It's extremely consistent, and it gets buffed even more with the Leaf's Cape. That's a 170 HP Meowscarda, a 160 HP Tsareena. That's a lot of really good benchmarks. The version that I ran, and the version that you'll see when that video releases, spoilers, is Mars. And that video is going to mostly be talking about all of the different ways that you can now build grass with some of my own gameplay. So it's going to be really fun. Please look forward to that. But again, this one's also running Erica because you're only running 1 Tsareena, Malo feels a bit too much. And because of the prevalence of Skarmory, you don't want to just save your lilies from Meowscarda and Tsareena. You want to be able to Erica the moment that you're getting hit by a Skarmory, buys you a turn, and that turn can potentially win you the game. So again, really, really cool that you can like really, really freakatize your ratios. Excited to see what people do with Meowscarda moving forward. And here we have Cosmog Solgaleo, probably a deck you've been waiting for, but a deck that looks different than what you're expecting. You're probably like, where's the Skarmory Solgaleo? Look, man, everyone knows how Solgaleo Skarmory is really good. So let me show you another way to build it and why you might consider Solgaleo Excadrill over something like that. If you're not familiar with Solgaleo by now, it basically has a free switch in when it's on the bench. It deals 120. It's stupidly strong for 2 energy. Rare Candy is insane. But let's talk about why using Excadrill over Skarmory. First of all, Drillbur is a fighting type, which is really good against Solgaleo's biggest counter at the moment, which is Electric Oricorio. And because you have Drillbur, you're able to deal 30, and because you have something like Excadrill who has 110 HP, you are getting 3 rounded by Oricorio and also KOing it quicker than it can KO you, Skarmory being weak to Oricorio in the first place. So it's really, really cool to see this combo work out. This list got top 4 in my Blitz tournament, but it has also been doing good in other tournaments. So super excited that this has been doing well. Again, because you're not running Skarmory, Skarmory kind of has a lot of baggage, right? You're playing 2 Skarmory plus 4 tools. You're able to kind of freakatize your deck, right? And this one's only running 1 tool. Of course, the Excadrill line does take up space. I've seen people use Magiarna. So basically, it has a lot of room to be doing a lot of different things. Some of the cool things this one has is, of course, the Lily, the Iono, and Pecom for consistency, Red for damage, and of course, Cyrus. You know, the Drillbur Excadrills are going to be pinging things, and these decks are going to, like, the Excadrill is going to be pinging things, and like these decks are going to want, you know, that 120. People are going to escape from your 120. Cyrus does what? Get him over here. This deck still runs a Rocky Helmet because the chip damage will eventually get a lot of things in range for your own Solgaleo. And of course, the last deck, I'm sorry, you have to see it. Darkraitina is still extremely good. And it is a very versatile deck. A Japanese player has used this exact list to hit Master Ball. That is right, you're seeing Darkraitina Oricorio. And why Oricorio works really cool with Darkrai is that you are able to attach ping. You notice that Solgaleo deck I showed you didn't have a Sabrina, right? So against certain decks like Stoke Charizard, against, you know, these decks that you can just kind of stall out with Oricorio, it is really cool to see Darkrai have that potential. This deck, one of the things is that it's the most consistent deck in the game, but the firepower is lacking, right? It takes 4 turns for you to attack with Giratina, 3 turns for you to attack with Darkrai. So Oricorio is this really cool wall, double Giant's Cape, double Poison Barb in place of Rocky. The reason why you want to use Poison is that it can effectively deal more damage over time. So really cool to see Poison Barb being tested outside of decks that would naturally benefit from Poison Barb. PCL is just good healing. You notice only 1 potion because you're not going to play as many mirror matches anymore. You don't need that many potions anymore. Double Cyrus because again, people are going to switch out to deal with the Poison Barb healing. Really cool concepts overall. Mars is one of the best cards. Every card deck is like a stage 2 that kind of relies on their hand size. I showed you 4 different decks that use Rare Candy just now, right? Mars is amazing, and Guzma really good into decks that love their tools. Meowscarda loves their tools. Skarm, Solgaleo loves their tools. And you might be wondering why I'm not showing you a lightning deck. I don't believe that there is a really strong lightning deck yet, but as soon as there is, you guys will be the first to know because I will make content on it. But for now, Oricorio is really cool and really good when it's being used on these type of teams, right? On this team like Darkrai or as like a staller. But the moment that I find a good lightning deck, I'm gonna have a video on it and you guys are going to be fed. And finally, of course, this is the deck I used to get a 13 win streak. Did you guess that I used Darkraitina? Put the guns away, put the tomatoes away. I was on a flight. I didn't really have much time to build. So I decided to make a rendition of Darkraitina that would be good and adaptable to the meta. Remember, Darkraitina is the most consistent deck. It rarely, if ever, bricks. All of these decks have brick potential, and that's why Darkraitina will be relevant. Is it the best deck? No, it is not close to the best deck. It lacks the firepower that all the other decks I mentioned have, but it's still really respectable. This is the list I'm using. As you can see, I have the Darkraitina, no Oricorio, but I think that what that guy's doing really cool. I'm using 2 potion, 2 cape, 2 helmet, so that I can have the options between what I need. And also it's really nice to have to put things out of range from stuff like Red Solgaleo, etc, right? Also, fellow Professor's Research, but the big star for me is the double Mars. You already know I am using double Mars so that I can freely use my first Mars whenever, right? You draw a card, Mars. You have 4 cards, Mars. You have 5 cards, Mars. You're thinking of using Rare Candy and you have 3 cards, Mars. You know, your mom calls you to tell you that she loves you, Mars. How are those 2 related? I don't know. Get Mars. And it's really cool. I'm also using Guzma. Guzma is just been really cool tool removal. I've gotten multiple wins by removing a Giant's Cape off of Oricorio and a Solgaleo respectively. Red, just really good. Sabrina, really good. This has just been a really solid deck. I will not be making content on this deck. That's why I decided to give you guys this list. I probably won't even be streaming with this deck again, unless I think it's a good call for ladder. This was just the I want to grind really fast and I want to exploit that people are using decks that might not be fully optimized, and I will be more consistent than them. And I was, right? I went on a 13 win streak, and that's really cool. I might be streaming later tonight, and if I do, I'll probably end up using the rockruff deck, but who knows? Obviously, I'm in Milwaukee. I'm going to try to enjoy my time here. But there is currently, as I'm recording this, a major 300+ person tournament going on right now. And if you want me to cover that after it ends, please let me know. I'd love to make that content for you guys. But for now, I'm going to... What am I going to?
We're going to the Asian store to buy mushrooms.
We're going to the Asian store to buy mushrooms. Not that mushrooms, you freak. And obviously, you've been an amazing person to me because I've been recording this for like 30 minutes. We recorded it the first time, and then I was muted the entire damn time. So this is actually the second take. So the fact that I have this much energy means I do this for the love of the game, and the love of the game is telling me to end this video. So bye-bye.